Today, we're going to talk about something that touches thousands of families, Duchenne muscular dystrophy. And we're going to do it by sharing the story of a little boy named Kai Kai.
It all started with a really simple but worrying question. At 3 years old, Kai Kai wasn't running and jumping around like the other kids. For him and for his family, things were just different.
You know, his mom starting to notice the little things. He was clumsier than other toddlers. He had this habit of walking on his tiptoes, and just getting up off the floor was a huge effort. These weren't just kids being kids. They were clues. And one of the biggest clues was how he stood up. Kai Kai would actually use his hands to push himself off the floor, and then he'd climb up his own legs to get upright. It turns out this has a name. It's called the Gower sign, and it's a classic sign of muscle weakness. That, plus his calves looking unusually large, really pointed the doctors in a specific direction.
And that direction led to a diagnosis, Duchenne muscular dystrophy, or DMD. So what is it? Well, it's a genetic condition where the body is missing a crucial protein called dystrophin. Think of dystrophin as the shock absorber for your muscles. Without it, every single movement, every step, causes tiny amounts of damage that just build up over time, making the muscles weaker and weaker. Now, it's called a rare disease, but when you see a number like 1 in every 3,500 boys, you realize just how many people this affects. For thousands of families every year, this is the reality they're facing. The journey with DMD tends to follow a certain path. It often starts in those preschool years with delays in movement and even speech. As the muscle weakness gets worse, usually around age 12, a wheelchair becomes a key tool for getting around. Then, later on, because the heart and breathing muscles are affected too, that kind of specialized care becomes absolutely critical.
But I really want to be clear here, this is not just a story of decline. Not at all. With amazing advances in medical care and technology, people with GMD are living much longer and, more importantly, much fuller lives. The whole focus has shifted to improving the quality of that life every single day.
So that brings us to the big question, right? What can we do? How can we help? Because this isn't just a medical issue. It's a community one. It takes all of us.
A real support system has so many parts. Of course, you need great medical care, physical therapy, and all the devices that help with independence. But just as crucial is what happens outside the hospital. Are our buildings accessible? Are our public spaces designed for everyone? Are we creating communities that don't just tolerate but truly include people? And when you put all that together, you get this beautiful outcome. Support isn't just about adding more years to someone's life. It's about expanding the width of that life, filling it with more possibilities, more independence, and more joy.
And that's really the final thought here. You don't have to be a doctor to make a huge difference. An accessible ramp is just as important as an act of kindness. Both of them are foundations that help build a stronger, better journey. So maybe just think about that for a second. What's one small thing we could do to make our world a little bit easier for everyone to navigate?